Hello, Caleb. Hello, Lucy. And hello, Conrad. I wonder, do y'all know what a trilogy is? A trilogy is three books or three movies that all tie together with the same plot. And so today we're going to begin to wrap up a trilogy of Fantastic Four comics. Remember, the first issue of this story arc began when the Fantastic Four fought against Sandman. But then at the end of that story, Mr. Fantastic was thrown into the negative zone and was in danger there until Triton came and rescued him. But at the end of that story, they had a secret visitor, the villain Blastaar. And so at the end of our second story, Blastaar and Sandman became allies to fight against the Fantastic Four. And so that brings us up to the third comic, which we are going to begin today. And here it is. All right. It's titled Blastaar, the Living Bomb Burst. And here he is. Remember, he has the power to shoot explosive power from his fingers. But look, Sandman is part of the story as well, both of them fighting against the Fantastic Four. So, the banner reads, "The Fabulous FF united once more, and they battled Sandman and Blastaar, the Living Bomb Burst." Okay. It finally happened. The Human Torch and Crystal have found each other. Mr. Fantastic has been rescued from the deadly negative zone by the water-breathing Triton. But can they now settle back and enjoy a well-deserved rest? Sure they can, for about 2 seconds. And so all of a sudden, boom! "What's going on?" says the thing. The whole crummy joint is caving in. Triton realizes a violent explosion has just occurred from somewhere above us. "Reed," Sue asks, "someone has broken through our defenses and reached the roof. We're under attack again. But by whom?" "The ceiling overhead is constructed by the strongest building materials known to man," answers Reed, "and yet it's collapsing like a giant mud pie. Whatever awaits us up there is possessed of almost unlimited power." "Hey, do you think it could be Matchhead up there showing off on account of Crystal?" Triton says Crystal would find no humor in the wanton destruction of property, not even if it were accomplished by her beloved Human Torch. "Then who in the name of Aunt Petunia can it be?" asks the thing. "Pretty soon a blasted baddie will have to buy a reserved ticket to get a crack at us." "Ben," shouts Reed, "remember the strange forms of life we saw when we studied the negative zone through my viewer? When Triton brought me back from there, when the armor door was open for those few seconds, what if, unseen by us, something else came through the barrier?" "You mean," asks Sue, "some strange, deadly alien creature might be up there right now?" "Well, that's a really good guess." "Because the answer is yes. There's only one way to find out," says Reed. "Stay back, all of you. I'll stretch myself upward and see." But no sooner does the fantastic Reed Richards manage to peer through the jagged opening above when, "Batoom! I was right," he exclaims. "There is someone who... Oh!" Another explosion above us. "Reed, what is it?" hollers Sue. "Are you all right?" "He's falling. He's been hit. Gimme room and I'll catch him." And Reed says, "Explosion from his fingers. His fingers." "Reed," hollers Sue. "It's my fault. I should have thrown an invisible force field around him, but everything happened so fast." "Okay, kiddies, sit tight. while bashful Benjamin gets himself up there. No, I shall do it. I can reach the spot first. But I'm all right. But there's someone on the roof with uncanny power, says Mr. Fantastic. And there goes Triton. Tell Triton to wait. It isn't his fight. He's done his share. But Triton answers, the battle against evil is everyone's fight. Even an inhuman has a code to live by. And so he uses his power thrusters, shoosh, and flies upward. But the thing says, but your only weapon is that nutty air gun. Another one, no matter. Blastaar will drive him back with ease. Bah, his speed was greater than I expected. Batoom! Richards was right, thinks Triton. He actually creates some sort of shattering explosions which burst forth from his own fingertips. I must strike suddenly, without warning, before he can hurl a second such blast. Sandman says, you missed him, Blastaar. You still aren't as fast as Sandman. If he is a being from the unearthly negative zone, the science of fist fighting may be unknown to him, thinks Triton. I must press my advantage while I still can. Bach! For there is another behind him who calls himself Sandman. There is no telling when or how he too may strike. Though he is without skill in hand-to-hand combat, his strength is truly awesome. I dare not stop pounding him, lest he destroys me with his next blast. But suddenly, the impatient Sandman launches his own unexpected attack, temporarily blinding the one called Triton with a shower of swirling, stinging sand. What is this? Asks Blastaar. Who dares interfere when Blastaar is engaged in battle? Sandman answers, I got tired of waiting on the sidelines, mister. This is what Sandman can do, with or without any help. And Triton says, Arrgh. I don't blame him. Have you ever got sand in your eye? Ow, it hurts. Mortal fool. You think Blastaar cannot do equally well? I have never fought with my knuckles bent in the form of fists before, but now that I have learned the way of it... Spock! He figured that out real fast, didn't he? And I bet he's strong, even without his blasting fingers. There is no power to match the bludgeoning power of Blastaar. Sandman says, he threw that punch so fast, I couldn't even see it. I can't turn my back on him for a minute. He'd give me the same treatment whenever it suits him. And poor Triton is laying there on the ground. Remember, says Blastaar, your only value to me is that you know this world. You can serve as my guide, but if you ever dare betray me... Forget it, Blastaar, answers Sandman. We make too good a team. Then come, show me more of this puny world, which will soon be mine. Okay, partner, hang on, we're going downstairs. And Blastaar says, you've made your hand large enough to lift me? If this is a trick, take warning. I'll reduce you to atoms with one full power blast. Don't get your jaws in an uproar. We're still on the same team. Just watch. And so now, wow, what's going on here? Blastaar says you walk down the side of this building as though gravity itself has no effect upon you. How can this be? Nothing to it, pal. I just mix some chemicals which I carry in my belt, and I come up with adhesive sand. Now hang on. Here's where I begin your education. This is an amazing view, isn't it? As he walks down the side of the building, we see the other skyscrapers in the New York, what's the word? The city. Seconds later, Johnny Storm and the girl named Crystal rushed from the restaurant in which they had been talking about things that all young lovers have talked about since time immemorial, but they can't talk about it anymore. Johnny, says Crystal, all the noise, the commotion, the shouting in the street, what can it be? And bystander says, "Up there, on that building. Look." "I'd rather not know, Chris, honey. If it's trouble, the Human Torch may be needed again." "Well, yes, it's trouble, and the Human Torch is needed." "I see what they're pointing at. On that wall, down the street. It looks like two figures, and one of them is the Sandman." "That means there is danger again," says Crystal. "Just when we have finally found each other. Johnny, don't let it separate us again. Please, Johnny, don't." "Nothing's going to take you from me again, Chris, no matter what. But I still have my duty to the FF. I got to find out what Sandman is up to and who that other clown can be." "Well, he's not a clown, because he's sure not funny." Ee-er, ee-er. Here comes policeman with a siren. "Maybe there won't be anything for me to do after all, honey. Looks like half the cops in town are zeroing in on the spot." Don't count on the police. They're great folks, but they're not going to be able to stand up to Sandman and Blastaar. "Why do crowds of shouting humans surround us? Explain, Sandman, before I blast every last one out of existence." Sandman answers, "Because of me. I'm wanted by the Fuzz." That's his word for the police, for busting out of jail. The policeman says, "Stay where you are, Sandman. We've got you surrounded. You can't get away." We'll see. "He's not stopping," says another policeman. "Let him have it. This specially made cement gun will prevent him from using his sand molecules against us. Good shot. It'll be rock hard within seconds, trapping him on the spot." Blastaar says, "Weakling, break free. Surely so simple a weapon cannot affect you. Free yourself." And another policeman says, "Okay, close in and watch out for that other one." Thwup. That's the sound of the cement. "I can't bust out. The cement's too hard. It's the one thing I didn't expect. It's getting harder every second. There's nothing I can do. Looks like you'll have to get yourself another boy, Blastaar." "Nope. None can make me alter my plans," says Blastaar. "I can still free you with but one simple blast." Crack! A blast powerful enough to shatter that which binds you, but carefully muffled to cause you no harm. Well, that's pretty clever. The policeman says, "Holy cow, the other one's more dangerous than Sandman." Sandman says, "Good work, Blastaar. They can't hit us with you tossing those explosions all around them. You humans are like children playing with toys. I will show you what real power is." Batoom! Johnny says, "I've seen enough, Chris. I can't stay on the sidelines any longer." Johnny says, "Flame on!" and he enters into the fray. Blastaar up above us. It's the torch. Forget everyone else. He's the one to worry about. Blastaar worries about none. Johnny thinks, I don't get that guy. He causes explosions just by pointing his hands. But I can't turn back now. Like Reed and Ben always say, we can't just pick the easy jobs. We got to take them as they come. Well, this is not an easy job. Back, you flaming, flying fool, back, cries Blastaar. No matter what the extent of your mortal power may be, 'tis as nothing compared to the might of Blastaar, the power of ultimate destruction in my hands, the power to wipe out an enemy, an army, to obliterate a world. I fear nothing. I can be stopped by no one. I am a law unto myself. I am supreme. I am, say it with me, Blastaar. And down at the bottom, Sandman thinks, it's no good. He's going mad. He's drunk with power. I gotta show him I'm as strong as he is before he decides to turn on me too. Wow, look at that. Here's a full view of Blastaar in posing and showing off his strength. Okay, Beaver, says Sandman, you made your point, but the payoff around here is in action, not making speeches. So stand aside while I show you the way the Sandman can stop that that flaming freak's attack. And so he turns his sand into a sledgehammer. Blastaar says, "What? You still presume to match your paltry power against mine?" Johnny Storm says, "Man, what a deal. They're like Russia and Red China. Even though I'm the main enemy, they're not busting at the seams with brotherly love for each other either." Johnny says, "Nice try, Sandy, but the day hasn't come when I can't fly rings around anything you can toss at me." "You think so? Then try dodging these, hothead. Whit, whiz, whit, whiz." He's forming granite boulders and tossing them right at me. He's tossing boulders at the torch. But then suddenly, the strange, rasping, unearthly voice of the being called Blastaar thunders above the sound of battle. "I have witnessed enough. Now, with but one single gesture, I shall destroy the human torch." Zoom! The heck you will! What's that? Some new force has seized us. What new force is that? I thought it'd been a while since we heard from Ben. Here he is. If anyone's going to do any destroying around here, Aunt Petunia's blushing blue-eyed nephew Benjamin is going to get first crack at it. Dig? Sandman hollers, "Blastaar, it's the thing." "You betcha little booties it is, sweetie." And the thing grabs both of them in his two arms. "Take no chances with him. He's dangerous," exclaims Sandman. "You better believe it, Curly." And Blastaar says, "So someone so grotesque can be an earthling too?" "Now you did it," retorts the thing. "You hurt my feelings." "Ben, be careful. He's not human. He has the power to..." "Hey, look out. Sandman's escaping. He's changed his molecules to fine sand and he's pouring through his costume." "Sure," says Ben. "Now you tell me. And look, Sandman is escaping." "I can't stop him," says the torch. "No matter where I direct my flame, his fast-moving grains of sand keep dispersing somewhere else. He's getting away, down through that grating. I'm losing him." So, Sandman escapes. "I'm too late. He's gone," says the torch. "I'd better turn back and see what Ben is doing. Oh no, another explosion." "Now, you orange-hued monstrosity," exclaims Blastaar, "you will feel the blistering, bludgeoning power of Blastaar." Oh, so Ben is tossed back. And he's down on the ground. Benji took the full brunt of it, which means it's up to me now. And the torch says, "Now, Boom Boom, while you're waiting, I'll give you something to chew on also." "You arrogant fool," retorts Blastaar. "Anyone else would have fled in mindless panic after what you've just seen." "Once, just once," says Benjamin. "Can't we ever fight a guy who don't make speeches?" Boom! Blastaar attacks the torch. The thing is already down and out. Sandman has escaped. What will happen next in the battle between Sandman and Blastaar against the Fantastic Four? Well, we'll have to wait until next time when we finish the story. But for now, so long. We'll see you real soon.